and this is how Group H finished. Colombia through as group winners. Japan, Senegal had exactly the same amount of points, the same goal difference, the same goals scored, and of course they drew their match with each other. Therefore it went to yellow cards, and Japan had 2 less than Senegal. Well, nothing's predictable at this World Cup except the fact there was going to be a goal in that game that saved your bacon.
It did, and I don't have to take stick from Phil anymore.
But, I mean, what did you make of that? I mean, obviously we were watching the Japan pictures as well, which were quite remarkable, just not moving the ball around at all.
Yeah. Senegal fans will be heartbroken, but I suppose lessons learned in this game. You have to score when you're on top. They had so much of the possession. They were the better team throughout most parts of that game, but you have to score and put the game to bed when you're on top, and Colombia found a way back into that game.
We talked before the game, Didier, about that fact when you know that a draw is enough, sometimes it can inhibit you mentally.
I think it did affect the players, even though they played to win the game. And then, I mean, when you play, you have so many chances, you have to score. I mean, at least you have to try to hit the target. And I haven't seen one of the free kicks taken in a good way, or even you see Mane, you know, you can't expect to win.
Colombia weren't that impressive overall, Phil. They got away with it, though.
They did.
They found a way, which is always important.
Well, they got a set piece and it was good delivery in the box, and he attacked the ball really well. I actually thought Japan, Senegal and the other team in the group and Poland. I thought they were all scared. Yeah. They were all scared to play. You see, Senegal in the first half, we praised them at half-time for their setup. Actually, we wanted them to actually play with a bit more freedom. And when you talk about fear, when you get to the final third, you need to be relaxed. Senegal today, Mane in particular, was really poor.
The goal was interesting in the sense that Senegal were trying to make a substitution as the corner was about to be taken. Wage came on. And as you see, he's charging back, and as the ball comes in, there's a bit of lack of organisation. All of a sudden, Alex, it's in the back of the net.
And I was confused at why you're making a sub there. I'm not sure if the Salabay was injured, but to make a sub on a defensive corner like that, there is going to be confusion. And the goal leads to that. Yere Mene comes in, and it's just a lack of communication. Who's picking up who? And he exploits that space.
The goalkeeper was poor. I mean, I said all the way through the game, I mean, we're not going to attempt this. It's not as choreographed as the Senegalese, but I said all game that the keeper was going to throw one in. I just wonder whether they didn't allow the defender to get into place. As soon as he actually got on the pitch, they took it straight away, so there was obviously something there.
Goalkeeper, you can't make saves if you're behind the line.
It's difficult behind the line, yeah, true. But I want to say again, I want to talk again about the importance of the free kicks and the corners. Like big teams like Colombia, I think they only had few chances and they score. You know, they took
so plays in this
chance.
Tournament. We've seen it on many occasions, you know, how vital they are.
That's what Senegal should have done.
Well, after that, obviously, the mindset for Senegal changed, and they had to go for it. And they had 2 or 3 opportunities that you talked about, Didier.
Yeah, and and I think we're all disappointed because we haven't seen this in the first half, or even in the game against Japan, where, you know, a bit of emergency and you need to score, and you see the chances they create.
It's the minute they conceded the goal, all of a sudden they had a bit of urgency. They were getting to the ball, they played. Look at all the Senegalese players in the box there. It was a good ball, good spot from Mane to the far post. Just that lack of composure. But it was just as they conceded the goal, all of a sudden the shackles were off, they released him. I just wonder whether he'll be disappointed with his tactics. I wonder if just a little bit of fear came into it.
It's 36 years since an African team failed to qualify for the knockout stage, Didier. It's a step backwards, isn't it? Having, you know, we keep talking about when are Africa going to come good.
Yeah, I think it's a big step back, but I think it's also a chance for all the African teams, for the African Confederation, maybe to reconsider the strategy and how we want to go forward, what we want to do in the next World Cup, because we have the potential, we have the money to develop, but we need more than that. We need to have the consistency and the structure of the European teams or South American teams, and with the joy that we have of creating and playing and the love we have for the game, we're going to be successful one day, but we need to think again about how to approach these big competitions.
Yeah. VAR played a big part in the first half, and we think once again, which happened vast majority of the time, it got the decision correct.
It did. It was a good move from Senegal on this left-hand side. Came in. I thought this pass here was absolutely fantastic. Just the way he slipped it in. Poor first touch, but that tackle from Davison Sanchez was absolutely... It's the tackle of the tournament. At first I thought penalty. You can see he clearly got the ball. And this is where VAR comes in, because he gave the penalty. Brilliant defending with the heel. Won the ball. Mane goes over. And that's where VAR comes in. They made the correct decision. It's got a lot of criticism in the tournament so far, but brilliant decision from
And it saves the referee the embarrassment of looking at it after the game and going, oh, blimey, I got that wrong.
Totally, and that's why it's got to be good for the game.
It's the help we've been asking for referees for a long time.
Yeah, it takes that right off them, because it is the correct decision. But once again, we're seeing Mane there. I feel, Didier, you said at the start of the show that maybe he seems tired, everything, he seems lethargic in his play, and he really hasn't showed up at this tournament.
It's a shame. Let's show you what's been happening in the other game in the last 15 minutes. Absolutely nothing. Well, Phil, Poland got their victory, and it was a Bednarek goal that did it. They've got 3 points. They save face. Japan go through. Yeah. And we'll come to what the antics of the last 10-15 minutes shortly. But first, a little look at the goal. Another set piece.
Yeah, another set piece again, and it was a good attacking, good ball into the box. Didier said it about Senegal. It depends on the ball into the box. It's a fantastic ball into the box. Obviously onside, he lost his marker. That's a really good finish. But the story about this game probably isn't about the goals or the fact that Japan's gone through. It's the behaviour probably in the last 12 to 15 minutes. I thought it was disgraceful.
Well, let's have a little look of some of the pictures. It's not very exciting to look at because absolutely nothing happened really, except this is just pretty much what happened for the last 15 minutes of the game. Nobody went near anybody. Nobody tackled anyone, because obviously Japan don't want any more yellow cards. Poland want 3 points just to go home and save face. This goes against what the game really stands for, doesn't it? We hated it in 1982 when the Germans and the Austrians did it.
I don't think I'd accept it as a player on the field.
Accepting it, but it's also brave as well, because you don't know what's going on in the other game, and there's been so many late goals in this tournament. So to be brave enough to do that, but we don't like to see that.
You sort of felt that it would serve them right if Senegal had pinched one right at the end.
I would have loved Senegal to score and punish those two teams, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
the two benches must have been talking to each other and saying, look, you know, we'll not attack, you not attack, and let's just play out this game. But they went really early. I mean, not good.
It was, no, not at all. We're less than 2 hours away from kick-off as England take on Belgium in Kaliningrad, and we can hear now from Martin Keown, who is pitchside with Gabby.
So just under 2 hours to kick off here in Kaliningrad for England's final group game against Belgium. And we hear 8 changes to Gareth Southgate's starting lineup. Only Lingard, Stones and Pickford in that starting 11 from the teams that have started so far. Are you surprised 8 changes have been made?
It's probably more than I would have anticipated, but it just shows you the trust that Gareth has in the players. They've been sat watching 2 fantastic games for England. There's a lot to follow, but they'll feel that they can maybe go and do more than the other team has done so far. So it's all positive. We really can't lose. We're in a fantastic situation. Let's not worry about being clever about who might be coming up after the last 16 opponents. Let's just go and win this game, and then maybe go and win the last 16 as well.
Well, win the game and win the group, and England would face Japan. Come second, they would face Colombia. Surely England's job now is to focus just on that match, because they haven't won a knockout game at a championship since 2006.
Well, that says it all. You know, I think as a player, you just go out there and do your very best. We don't want to be too clever with the situation. We want to show respect, of course, as well. People saying that you don't want to, play Japan much easier. If we could end up going out to Japan. So let's just be clever.
You know what it's like, though, to sit on a bench at a World Cup and not get on, not have those minutes, and it will be a real boost, won't it, for the whole squad? He said he's got to manage that as much as, managing that first 11.
That keeps all of the harmony together. It's the right kind of environment. He's done that brilliantly, Gareth Southgate, so far, and he would have been a player sitting on the bench himself in 2002, didn't take part. Get everybody involved, and there might be a few turn-ups as well. Really looking forward to see how maybe Rashford does today in that position up top. He might be one that can actually change the starting 11 for the next match.
Martin, do you want to call it?
I'm going for an England win.